Grandma, when you went to D.C., why did you go down there, and when did you go down?
In 1940, I think it was.
Yeah.
There was a war on, and your grandfather we were dating, and he was stationed at.
Sorry, I'm just.
He was stationed at. That's the only fault I have with old age. I forget names of places. Curtis Bay Coast Guard Station. So I had a girlfriend, and they were asking for people to come down there and work. I had been to business college, just got through, and I hate to admit it, but I was a pretty good student. So I talked her into going with me, and we went down there, and we, sight unseen, she knew a fellow there, so we went, looked him up, and he showed us around, got us a room in a boarding house. And so we went to apply for government jobs.
Right.
I don't remember what she was going to do, but.
So you both were doing, applying for the same kind of jobs?
Yeah, clerical jobs.
Yeah.
Because they needed clerks in the government. But we couldn't get a job because we didn't have any security.
Okay.
So we had to get something to eat. So she got a job as a cleaning lady at a hospital. You didn't have to have security for that. And I went to a drugstore office, the head People's Drugstore, and I got a job because I had a business college certificate. And I got a job. And I started to work with them till I got a government job. Well, by the time I got the security, I was instilled in that company so big, they didn't want me to leave. So they stayed. I stayed because they paid me more. So I stayed there the whole time.
Okay.
And then in the meantime, I was seeing my boyfriend. He'd come down on weekends from Baltimore. And then,
from Baltimore, you said?
Yeah, he was stationed there, and he just hitched a ride. And so then he got shipped out, and I was there with Jerry. She left. She went to New York where her sister lived to get a job up there, New York City. Could get jobs anywhere because of the war. Anyhow, she went there. Then I went home. I figured, there's no use of me being here. She's gone, he's gone. So I came back home and stayed. Then we got married in January, and I stayed up here then. I had Dale, and I stayed with my mother and father. And then the war got really big, and my husband's brother, 17 years old, quit school. His name was Uncle Homer to my kids. And he left school and went to the Marine Corps in the medics. And he was on Iwo Jima. That was, I think, the worst battle in the whole war.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And so he was there, and he was medic, but he was also a very religious boy, so they put him in taking care of people dying. And that's what he did on Iwo Jima. 17 years old, was saying the Lord's Prayer, and he knew some of the Catholic prayers. If they were Catholic, he probably faked them out. They were dying one day, no. But anyhow, he did. And then his mother, she was home with, you remember Aunt Joanne, of course.
Yeah.
Well, Aunt Joanne was a little girl.
Yeah. And
the mother was a nervous wreck, her 17-year-old boy on Iwo Jima.
Jeez.
So they wanted me to come here and live with her to take care of her, because it was really scary. I was even scary, and I was a young woman.
Yeah. And how old were you when he was 17? How old were you?
I can't remember. Well,
older than him.
I was born in 22. He was born in 28. I was 6 years older than he was. Yeah, that's a good way to remember.
Yeah.
So anyhow, Joanne was little. She was only 12. So I practically raised her because her mother was in such a state. She was,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, she just couldn't focus on anything.
Yeah.
And I don't blame her. I was upset too because. But I had to be brave because I was taking care of everybody.
Yeah.
So anyhow, and that's why everybody thinks I'm mean because I'm mad at Ann Wilson, but I'm not mean. She said I said something about Joanne dying, and she didn't come to the funeral. I said something about I was being upset because I felt like I had raised her. Her mother was a nervous wreck.
Yeah.
And Ann Wilson said, well, you never did anything for her. And she didn't know.
Yeah.
She didn't know me all that time that I raised that little 12-year-old.
Yeah.
She thought I was a god. She really did.
Yeah.
Till the day she died, she thought I was wonderful.
Yeah.
And I wasn't. It was just I was all she had. So anyhow, that was my story on Ann Wilson. But nobody believes that. They think I'm mean. I'm not mean.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's my story there. And I stayed, but I didn't stay down there. I came home then, and from then on I was here. Then he came home, and we lived in the house with Grandma Crawford, and they had an apartment downstairs, and we went down there, and we had Dale. He was the cutest little boy in the world. He really was too. Yeah. And then we had Aunt Joanne, and she was cute too. Naturally, your kids are all cute. So anyhow, I had Aunt Joanne, and we had then we had Hazel. Well, when we got pregnant the third time, it was just a little apartment, and Dale was mostly upstairs.
Was that on Water Street?
No, on Front Street. Oh, I brought that. I wonder what I did with. Did you see a book had Brownsville houses in it?
I don't think, but we can find it later.
I don't know if I brought it. It has their house in because it's one of the oldest houses in Brownsville. And we decided we better move out to country.
Yeah.
We found that place. We bought it from the Quakers. I don't know if you know about the village of Pencraft. The Quakers settled it in the Depression. Everybody got families where the father was unemployed craftsmen of some kind, plumbers, electricians, carpenters, everything, and they all had 10 acres with each house. Yeah. And then they could have a big garden.
Oh wow!
That was nice. And then we bought ours right from the Quakers. And then I think I told you last night we were here, and I said that they gave us another plot. Another plot
because coal.
They took the coal out and cracked our house. So, I they started.
Yes.
Okay, we can turn it back on.